Hey guys, it's Emily.
It's Lily.
You guys, we are so excited to be back. And this week's episode, we're going to be talking all things travel and fun.
And fun. Well, let's get into it.
So, Lily, what have you been up to this week?
So, I have been recovering from the stomach virus. It hit me with a vengeance. So, I've spent all week ill. But I will say, I do particularly like getting sick because then it makes me, like, whenever I start to get better, it makes me productive, like crazy productive. I'm like a superhuman. And so I deep cleaned my whole house 2 days ago. Like, I literally cleaned the
Baseboards?
baseboards.
Doesn't that make
I
you
was on
feel
my
good
hand
to
and
have
knees.
like a nice house?
I feel great.
Clean. I
Yeah.
sleep better when the
Me
house is
too.
clean.
Me too.
So you've been sick all week, so we've been down on the podcast. So next week, right,
Sorry,
we're
guys.
gonna have Dr. Monica Parham and Dr. Lily Cifarelli on to talk about Botox, which is going to be a really exciting episode.
I am so excited for that episode. They are amazing. And I can't wait for everyone to just see how amazing they are. But what have you been up to? We'll shift gears from me.
Well, this week I've been just at home on spring break before I go back to work next week. And the week before, I was actually in Big Cedar, which is in Ridgedale, Missouri. And we had so much fun taking Kit on his first big trip. He did great on the 6-hour car drive.
Of course he did. He's
I
so
was
wonderful.
so proud of him.
He's the best man.
We had really good food. Obviously, the food at Big Cedar is so good.
Amazing.
And we went to the bagpipe show at sunset at Top of the Rock, which was so fun. I left Kit for like our first date night.
How did you do?
I did really well. I only texted Caroline and Allison, our cousins who kept him, I think 6 times. So, and we were gone for 2 hours.
It's okay. There's nothing. I do the same with my dog. So it's fine.
You know, it's just, that's part of it.
It just shows you care.
I did want to recap the Women Tell All this week.
Me as well.
Was it not so dramatic?
I have never watched a Women Tell All, which, to be fair, I really liked Colton's season and watched Colton's season, and then I kind of trickled off from there. So I haven't been diehard Bachelor my whole life, so I haven't seen every Women Tell All there's ever been. But I have never seen one where literally nobody could get a word in and they were just screaming at each other. I was like, good. Like, I don't know, there comes a point where I get it, people upset you, but you need to have a cordial conversation.
It was like, I said dial it back, but like,
absolutely, I agree.
It was so like nitpicky and catty and
it almost seemed scripted. Did you see when Leah got up crying?
All of it felt super disingenuous to me, which usually the Women Tell All doesn't for me. I usually and I'll be honest, I buy into the Bachelor franchise. My mother does not. She thinks it's all a bunch of malarkey. But I don't know. And I've loved this season. I thought this was a really good season. I really thought that Joey has been a good Bachelor. But the girls this season.
Yeah, I will say I was on a Maria bandwagon, and I was not very impressed with her behavior.
No, and that's what I'm talking about. Felt so disingenuous, like her getting up.
Whenever she got up to hug Sydney and Leia, I was like,
fake.
Well, but you just did that to make it look like you were the bigger person.
100%, and we all know you're not.
I get it to an extent, but I was just like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
No, like when you were literally attacking her 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, whenever they were all attacking each other, and then and then they were like, yeah, we'd be best friends outside the house. What? No, you would not be best friends outside the house.
That's not why.
No, you're just saying that because literally all of America hates you and they love Maria, and now you're just like, oh, let me pretend like I love Maria now and think she's the greatest thing so people will forgive me for the way I acted. I don't know. I just think it was a little too much. And I think social media, like to the extent it had, like, have you seen the edits?
Yes.
Of Daisy and like Kelsey A? I'm like, really?
And people also are like, I don't know, it just, especially on TikTok, I feel like the extent to which people attack another person's physical appearance
Yeah.
is
Well, we saw that
absolutely
with
bananas
Rachel.
to
She
me.
spoke on that a little bit. And it made me really
Yes.
sad. Some of the things she said that were said to her, I was just so floored by the fact that someone could imagine saying that to another person, especially somebody that they don't even know. Like, it's not like
Right.
they're attacking her personal character. They're attacking her because of some TV show.
Right. And why are you so invested in it that
Yeah, I
you're
know.
having such a
A
visceral
personal vendetta
reaction?
against somebody.
Right.
I don't
It's
know.
kind of
That's just
odd.
energy I would like to place elsewhere in my life. I get it. It's fun, but don't make something like that extreme, because it ruins it for everyone else. And like, the more we do things like that and like cancel culture and everything, we're not going to be able to have things like The Bachelor anymore. There's nobody that's going to want to go on that shows
Right.
because it's just, I don't know.
If you're one of those people that thinks it's appropriate to go and get on your phone and type negative comments about somebody you don't know, get outside and touch grass. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, get outside and touch grass.
Get outside and touch grass.
I agree. Have you ever gotten a hate message yourself?
Actually, yes. Back when I was in high school, there was an app called Ask.fm, and people would send anonymous messages to you, and it's so toxic, and I don't know why we even had it. Like, why did I have an account where I allowed people to send hateful messages? One, I'll talk to you outside about this because it's somebody that we know, and I can't say their name on the podcast, that sent me a really hateful one. But one, I got constantly messages about my hair extensions. When I got hair extensions for the first time, nobody had hair extensions in high school. One, because it was outrageously expensive, but two, like, just nobody was really doing that at my age at the time. And so I got messages constantly that were like, "We know your hair is fake, just like your personality." Which, I don't know, anybody that knows me, I keep it real. I really do.
The realest person ever. Like, so
And
whenever you shouldn't be real, you are real. So that's
right,
a
right.
strange thing to say. They just
And
thought they were
then
slick. They were like, this sounds really hateful.
I know,
Right
and
in.
like, let's kick her where it hurts with the hair extensions, like, okay. So yeah, what about you? Have you ever gotten hateful?
I did have a similar experience with the hair extension. I had I thought she was my friend at the time. We had kind of fallen off at this point, but she had posted a Snapchat story of the back of my head where you could obviously see my visible hair extension, and like, she was just dogging me. But
Like,
I don't know.
what is the point of that? Does it
I
make
don't
you feel
know.
better?
People were. It's because she wanted them. It's the
Right.
only
Let's
reason. The only
be
reason she was
honest.
hating on
Let's
me is
just be
because she
honest.
wanted them. And I
Right.
bet she's listening to this right now.
You're probably.
Probably. No,
We won't
but
at you.
yeah, literally. But no, the one hate comment I've ever gotten, like, on my public Instagram was a picture of me. I had like these professional pictures done for something, and this guy commented that I went to high school with. He said, "Why are all of y'all simping over a girl that looks like a lizard?" And he put the lizard emoji after. I was like, do I look like a lizard?
Literally, no. You're stunning. What is wrong with people?
What really got me was the lizard emoji after. Like, as if the word lizard didn't leave
Wasn't
enough
enough.
emphasis, he left this like slimy little creature emoji after. I was like, okay.
Ouch.
And I left it on there. I didn't delete it.
Good for you. Good for you.
I
He
said,
has
let him
to
see.
deal with the fact that he is so obsessed with you that he left an Instagram comment that to help his little fragile ego.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Should we call him out?
Oh gosh, what was this kid's name? He was younger than me. I was in the math class for dummies, believe it or not, in high school. And he was a freshman. Logan! His name was Logan. He was tiny.
Logan.
Yeah, thanks, Logan. He had this, like, bleach blonde hair and it, like, swooped out like he had a Bieber haircut. He was so rude in class, too. Like, I had nothing for him, but I guess he had something for me.
He was suffering from little man syndrome? It's a real disease, guys. Look it up.
He was. And unfortunately, it's uncurable.
It is. It's an uncurable disease. You heard it here first. Don't WebMD us.
Terrible disease. It's chronic.
It is. It's a chronic illness. That's hilarious. Okay, so Lily, what is your end of the week?
Oh, my end for the week are actually cute napkins. I'm going to show you. I have my drink sitting on them right now. But look at how adorable. They're simple but cute. It says, make it a double. And it's these two little dogs on them. I got them from the Olive Tree in Starkville for my birthday.
So sweet. Love the Olive Tree.
I know. I love the Olive Tree. They literally have so many knickknacks in there.
They do.
Amazing things.
Cute clothes. Adorable. I love it.
I know. I literally will not use them because I'm like, nobody touch my napkins. They're supposed to last forever. They're not for actual use.
I have got, right now, well, speaking of little napkins, I have some out for Easter that are carrots, and then I've got some more out that have Peter Rabbit on them and say, now run along and don't get into mischief.
That is adorable. See, I love a cute decorative napkin.
I love a cute decorative napkin. But my end of the week is ballet flats. I live, laugh, love a ballet flat. And I'm so glad that they're making a comeback. One, ballet flats are probably the most comfortable shoe. And also, as two former ballerinas, I just love the aesthetic of little ballet shoes. Lily, what's your out of the week?
My out for the week is TMI. I've never believed in it. I've never lived by it. I don't think there is a such thing as too much information. I want to know everything. Give me all the details. I will do the same.
I'm like that.
Yeah. Why? Who came up with the TMI? What? No.
Right.
If anything, I'm not getting enough.
Right. Tell me everything. I want to know. Give me all the juicy, gory details. TMI is your out.
TMI is my out. Let's stop saying too much information because it doesn't exist. What's your out?
I love that, Lily. My out of the week is staying up late. I want to go to bed. And I don't know. I want to say that it's because I have a baby, but it's not. I was like that before I had him and before I was pregnant. Let me go to bed.
At a decent hour.
I want to go to bed. I actually want to be in bed about 8 o'clock at the latest.
7:30. I like to have dinner cooked, dishes done, jammies on, skincare done, my show, which is Suits, by the way, on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, go watch it right now.
I need to watch Suits. I have not watched that.
Stop. Meghan Markle's in it.
I know. That's how she got her.
She's a phenomenal actress.
She got her start on Deal or No Deal. Did you know that?
That is really the most flooring thing I've ever heard in my life.
She was a suitcase gal. Not suitcase. Briefcase. Yeah. But going back to the bedtime, I want to be in bed at 7:30 with the kitchen shut down. I also have a carafe by my bed, which pro tip. If you don't have a carafe by your bed to take your late night pills, and I'm somebody that gets thirsty in the middle of the night, so I gotta have access to water at midnight. I do. And so I have a beautiful pink carafe by my bed, and it's glass and stunning, and it really makes me feel like an adult when I'm putting my nightly hand cream on. I'm in my silk bonnet. Your hands are the first thing that age, Lily. So I'm in a full hand lotion. Hair is in a silk bonnet. And yeah, That is, I've got a nice book out or I'm watching some murder show. And that's my ideal.
Murder show. You watch murder shows before bed?
I do. And I don't know what it says about me, and it may be the master's degree that we touched on in the last episode, but it does not bother me. Or maybe I'm just like, how do I put it? I don't know.
Crazy?
Like maybe.
Have no fear?
Um no, I
You're
actually
the
have I'm on Zoloft actually because I have such high anxiety. So
the secret to watching murder shows before bed is being medicated.
it
Then
could
nothing
be.
scares you. Nothing scares
It
you at
could
all.
be. Actually, everything scares me. I don't even go to the gas station by myself, guys. I don't pump my own gas.
It's probably
I think
because you're watching murder show. It's probably because you're watching murder shows before you go to bed.
it probably is. It probably is. And I really do believe that every person that I see on the street is out to kill me.
Well, yeah, I feel the same way.
As much as I love a murder show, I don't want to be the subject of one. So, 2020 is my jam. Also, are
Yeah.
you watching Bad Romance on Hulu?
No, but I've seen it.
Ugh, so good.
Should I watch it?
You should. You really should. It's so good. So I guess let's go ahead and get into our "Is it worth it" of the week.
Yeah.
And our
Let's do
"Is it
it.
worth it" of the week is
Sororities. Are they worth?
So Lily, why don't, since you're just now transitioning into early alum, why don't you talk about your chapter and everything?
Yeah, so I was a part of the Alabama Gamma chapter of Pi Beta Phi at Auburn University. Oh my goodness, I do not have more positive things to say about my sorority experience. I feel like I've seen a lot of negative things on TikTok about sorority stuff. For some reason, it's been a hot topic, I guess because of Bama Rush and stuff. But literally, whenever I say I would not trade the experience I had in a sorority for the world. It was so much fun, and I got to dress up and do things. That was like the whole thing I was about. The whole reason I joined a sorority was because I was like, you know what? I want to have a community in college, and I also want to dress up. I want to go to fun things. For those of you who don't know, I never went to prom in high school.
So sad.
So I know. So for me, my like formals and semi-formals and things like that, I was so excited to get to experience because it was going to be my first time to experience them, and even better, it was in a college setting. So that was really neat for me. And then also, whenever I tell you I have met the most incredible women I have ever met my whole entire life, like I have met my bridesmaids one day, and people say that all the time and like joke about it, but it's so true.
It
And
is
I've
so true.
and my friends, which is so crazy to say, is my spiritual foundation has hardened so much more because of my friends that I've made. And I am like forever indebted to them for, doing that for me and giving me that outlet because, I wouldn't know where I would be today if it wasn't for the way they have influenced me.
So sweet. So sororities, are they worth it?
Absolutely. I love a sorority. I loved my sorority. I want to hear about yours though, because you're pretty far removed from sorority life.
I am. I graduated in 2019, so it's been a minute since I was in a
Wow.
sorority. I know. Old, right? I know.
No, it just feels like it was yesterday.
It does, and it flies by. So if you are at the beginning of, like if you're gonna do Rush in the fall, I think, just be mindful of how fast it goes.
It was.
Because like 4 years seems like a lot of time. It's nothing.
It's literally nothing.
I was a Chi Delta at Millsaps College, which is a chapter of the Chi Omega fraternity. And I absolutely loved being in a sorority. Like you said, I really did meet some of the best friends I've ever had who, even though, I am pretty far removed, we still talk every day. Um, and my little is one of my best friends, and then my maid of honor was one of my sorority sisters who was in my pledge class. Shout out Jenna. I know she's going to be listening to this. But sorority life, if you really give it your all and you're committed to, making those connections and those friendships, you get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it really was such a positive experience for me. And I held a lot of leadership roles in my chapter, and I was on our exec board. And it really allowed me to get some valuable experience with not only like time management, but also leadership. A lady hired me because she was a co at Ole Miss. That's when I worked at Fresh Ink in Jackson, which not a tattoo place, stationary. So sororities, is it worth it? Yes,
Absolutely.
I totally think so. And
I will say I went to one of Emily's bid days. This was not her bid day. I think it was probably
2016. Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't your bid
No.
day. It was
It was
2017.
2016. It was my sophomore year.
Oh yeah. So I went in 2016 and I have wanted to be a part of a sorority since then. That was the
Oh,
neatest experience I have ever. I made Emily give me all of her old Kyo shirts when she graduated, or just all of her
that's
old ones
sweet.
in general before she even graduated, and I wore them all the time. I was obsessed with the idea of being in a sorority and how neat it was, and just like everything about it I was so enthralled with. And that was one of the biggest things whenever I went to college. I was like, oh my gosh, I finally get to have this experience that
Oh,
I have been longing for literally since I saw Emily, get to do it whenever she did.
that's
So
sweet. Different. I loved all the sorority stuff, and I actually have. I was an advisor here at Co Mississippi State for a little bit, and it's so much fun. It really is.
it's so fun.
I love sorority life.
Me
I mean,
too.
and are there downsides to sorority life? Yes, of course. Like, it's a
It's a
huge
lot of
time
commitment.
commitment. It's a financial commitment for sure. But if you go into it knowing that, and you're
Yeah.
prepared for what that means, then of course I think it's worth it. And I actually met Matt, my husband, at a he was an SAE at Millsaps, and I met him at a little social for SAE and KO. And I ended
Stop.
up, yeah, at CS's. Um, but I ended up becoming a SAE little sister, but it was just so sweet.
Oh, it's like so right.
Yeah, and then at my wedding, all of my sorority sisters that came sang to me, and
I stopped.
it was so sweet.
Oh my
They sang
gosh.
shades, and it was precious. And then all of Matt's fraternity brothers that were there also sang to me, which was very sweet because they
Oh,
only do
it's
that
the
for little
coolest thing I ever
sisters.
saw.
It was so sweet and like tender, to see all of our college friends back,
Yeah.
and it was
Well,
a
you
very
just
special
see
moment.
so many people brought together by one thing. And I
Right.
think that is the most beautiful thing because, like, you can go to college and you can have community just within the fact that you go to college somewhere. But whenever you have a group, like, whenever you're like, I'm a part of this group within this organization, it's just so fulfilling to have.
So
God,
I
I
would say
wish
yes,
you were my
sorority life,
clarify.
totally
Yes, it's
worth it.
absolutely worth it. I love it.
Totally
It's my
worth it.
favorite thing to I have ever experienced in my whole entire life. I think it's so incredible.
Shout out to all of our sorority sisters that are
Shout
listening to this
out
podcast.
Shayna, Libby, Emmy, my precious little, all of them, Grace, Paris. Gosh,
Like, those are lifelong friends, which
lifelong.
is
And I've never been a person that has had like a multitude of friends at one time. So just, I cannot
me either.
reiterate enough how close I hold this experience to my heart and how much I encourage it for girls that are starting out. Um, before college and when they're thinking about what they want to do before they go to college, that's one thing that they absolutely need to consider.
Our tip of the week. Our tip of the week is about packing, guys. I forgot for a
Packing.
second. Yes, our
Woo!
tip of the week is how to pack effectively.
The most hated thing in the whole entire world.
Who doesn't hate packing?
Besides
I love that
is packing.
I love going on a trip. I hate preparing for a trip. Although I like making itineraries. I'm an itinerary gal. But when it comes to packing,
we are so like yin and yang in every way.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suck at packing, so I can't wait to hear this tip because I am going to incorporate it into my life. So, take it away, Emily.
If you don't have packing cubes, get on Amazon right now and get yourself some packing cubes. And also, in that tip is you need to know what activities you're doing every day and prep. What I do is I get my suitcase out and then I lay out sections of every day. Say I'm gone for 5 days, I've got 5 piles laid out. And for those 5 days, I have it makes me sound like a serial killer, but I've got my tops, my pants, my pajamas for the night. If I know I'm going to be out on a walk that day, if I'll be exercising, I've got that laid out in there. And I do that for every day. My shoes, everything. I try everything on, make sure that it all looks right together with my jewelry, everything. And then I take a picture of myself so that I know what that outfit was like for that day. And then there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it when I am, getting ready for the day. And
then you have those two on your phone to refer back to whenever you're there. So you never have to worry about what will look good together. Rather, because if you're like me and just throw everything into a suitcase and get there and you're like, what the heck do I wear? It's already fixed. Problem solved.
Right, you already know.
Began.
It's true. But once you get done with your entire week, then I separate tops, underwear, pants, socks, everything, and they each go into their individual packing cube.
And they're labeled.
They're not labeled, but what a great idea. That's something I need is a label maker.
Would be the last thing you need. I would walk into your house. It would be like, door. It's like
it would be, it would be.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Emily, for that.
But yes, that's our tip of the week is, packing is,
it's
very,
hard.
It is hard, but it's also very personal. Everybody
experience packing. It really is. There's a lot of self-reflection that goes into it, I feel like who am I?
Well, okay. Not where I was going, but okay. I was going to say it's personal as in everybody has their own individual way of packing.
Yeah.
And, some people's packing ways are better than others, and you got to find your fit.
Absolutely. You could be like me and be disheveled and disorganized, or you could take the better route and have packing cubes like Emily.
So, moving on, guys, to our advice segment, Dear TBB. Make sure that if you have anything that you want to ask us, please submit on the website at thebebonds.com. So the question that we got this week, Lily, is it says, what do you girls do when you intentionally relax? And when you do intentionally relax, is it before or after you realize you need it?
Wow. That's a good question.
It is. It is a really good question.
I don't relax. That, like, the way most people think that people relax, I don't. My idea of relaxing is having a routine. Does that make sense?
Like, yeah, I get that.
Relaxed in this relaxed state whenever I have, I wake up in the morning, I work out, I go to work, I do this, I come home, I cook dinner, I wind down, I do my skincare, I watch my shows, I go to bed. That statement is so relaxing to me. Like I
agree with that.
I don't know.
And the same with packing. I think that, relaxing is very personal.
Yeah.
Like there's no set way to relax. And, Matt, my husband, tells me all the time that I never relax. I am a busybody. I am not great at sitting down, and there's always something that needs to be cleaned.
Yeah.
And so, if it's not bottles these days, it's baseboards. And so I love to clean. I really do. Like Matt doesn't
It's
understand, and
therapeutic.
it is. It is. I love to clean. I love to do laundry. Hot take.
That's a hot take.
Hot take. I
Laundry?
love doing laundry. But also, I love to take a bath.
I love
And
a good bath.
sitting in a
With a bath.
bath, like sometimes scrolling TikTok, I like to read my devotionals in the bathtub. Like that is my dream every night.
Emily also
Love a
has
bath.
the most gorgeous bathtub in her home ever. It would be hard not to relax. I would love to just live in your bathroom. Period. I mean, it is gorgeous. So pretty. It's like the women's like fantasy land of how you would want, because I feel like most women are this way too. Your time is bathroom time. I have always been like that. Like even whenever I lived at home with my parents, nobody bothers me when I'm at home doing my makeup, doing my hair, whatever it may be. If I'm in the bathroom, she's out.
Right.
Like nobody bother me.
I agree.
So
Like, and
Emily's
I
bathroom is
love.
literally heaven for that.
That's so sweet. I do love that bathroom. But like sitting in front of the mirror doing my makeup, that's me time.
Yep.
I would say that doing my makeup is relaxing. I love doing my skincare. But to the second point of that question, do I do it before I realize I need it? I would say yes, because it's like you were saying, it's a routine for me. I take a bath probably every other night. And like Matt does not bother me. He takes care of the baby. I'm taking a bath and it's my me time. But yeah, so just to wrap up with that, I think that you have to know your own personal relaxation point, like where you're going to get to where you have to take a moment to yourself. And if you know that, and you know, especially if you know your triggers for like what gives you anxiety, what stresses you out, like if you know that that's coming, is meaningful and positive for you. Wonderful question. Thank you, Sarah McLean. And shout out to sororities. That's my big from my sorority. So love her. All right. Well, that's it, guys. And we love you guys. Remember to be blonde.